everyone. I am AJ or Aisha, and this is Lux Avenue, the podcast, hosted on Aisha Always TV here on YouTube. And for those that are new, for one, welcome. Again, this is Lux Avenue, the podcast. So if you don't know what we are basically a podcast that focuses on mental health from a faith perspective, right? From a Christian perspective. And no, I'm not trying to, Jesus you down, I will, but I'm not here to beat Jesus into you, you know what I mean? But I will redirect you to him. So, Lux Avenue is all about living our lives to the best of our God given ability because I want all that God has for me. And if I want to access that, my mental health needs to be in its best state, which is a luxury to me. So that's why we call it Lux Avenue, the podcast, because it is an avenue as to that luxury life. Not the luxury life as far as, I got my Gucci earrings on right now, but not that type of luxury, but the luxury is the luxury of being or having quality mental health. So, again, welcome to you newcomers. If you are a Lux Avenue resident already, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking it out with me and for tuning in. I know last week we took a break because it was the Monday after Resurrection Sunday. Baby, Jesus got up for us, okay? And it just, we talk about it and think about it all year long, but it's just when the day comes, the actual celebration, y'all know I go to NZT and we just don't play. Okay, we don't play about our Lord. So I was tired to say the least. Okay. But I am here again this week, and we are still talking about mental health within the music and ministry avenue, right? So first of all, I want to super thanks to all of my previous guests from Kiela, Monique, to Jeffrey Thomas, to Sharif Fox Smith, to Montez Riley. I think that's how you say his last name. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. But thank you all for agreeing to come on my show with this being so new to me, so new to us. It was very heartwarming that people agreed to come on something that you envisioned and just talk about their experience and be open and not make it awkward and weird. We had some great talks. If you missed any of those previous episodes, I'll leave a link up here somewhere or over here, wherever it will be, where you can go and check that out. But definitely, every single one of my guests, the conversation was amazing. I learned something from every single episode with my previous guests, and I cannot wait to have more guests on the show for you guys. Not only for you, but for me. Because like I said, I was learning things as I was talking to them. So, yes, this week is just going to be me, your girl. And I just kind of want to go into, mental health within music and ministry from my perspective, right? For those of you that do not know, I am a music girl. I've been in music since I can remember, honestly. I want to say probably as early as 5 years old, because I remember singing this particular Mariah Carey song for my kindergarten graduation. I can't remember the name of it, and I can't remember how it goes off the top of my head right now. But let's just say I've been in music a long time. Fun fact, my dad, he was older, but he is from Meridian, Mississippi, where I actually moved here from, right? He's from Meridian, Mississippi, and right next to or right outside of Meridian, Mississippi is a small town called Wynot, Mississippi. I don't know why they called it that, but there is a famous person that is from Wynot, Mississippi. His name is David Ruffin, and my dad, basically, him and my dad were like childhood best friends. They were connected after the fame or during the fame and everything like that, but they weren't as close as they were as children, of course. Um, but to say the least, my dad was in music as well. He knew, he knew the Temptations. He knew all the old groups back in the day. Like he just knew people. Okay. So I think I got my sense of music from my dad. Now he wasn't like, well, at least I don't remember. Y'all, my memory is horrible. I don't know. I may need to go get that checked. But he wasn't like this, famous musician or anything like that. But he just knew people because he loved music, like listening. He didn't play anything, I don't think. I don't think he played anything. He sung a little bit as a child and as, young people. But so I got my sense of love for music from him. Um, my mom loved music too, but it was more from my dad. And he started me on the music journey very early, as far as listening to like old school jams, just music, period. He loved Prince and Michael, and so do I. Um, Whitney, so do I. Like, I've just always loved music, right? I love the art of it. I love the passion of it. I love the creativity of it. I just love music. So said all that to say, I've been in music quite a while. And I've also sung in the church, within the church for quite some time too. I think my earliest memory of singing in the church was, man, probably third grade. About third grade. I would say third grade, I started singing within the church. It's crazy because another fun fact, I actually grew up Catholic till I was about what, 12, I guess, 11 or 12. I grew up Catholic. However, have y'all seen Sister Act 2? I'm going to pull your black card if you haven't. But for those that have seen Sister Act 2, that was literally my Catholic experience. Like, we legit was jamming, singing Kirk Franklin, Hezekiah Walker, all, John P. Key. We were singing that type of song. We was an all black Catholic school. The church was a little more mixed, but the Catholic school was all black teachers, all black students until like later on, right before they closed. Um, but yeah, it was a good experience. It wasn't, the crazy stuff that go on nowadays. It wasn't that. But with that being said, like I said, started going there when I was in third grade. And I remember we had a concert. Or we first of all we have mass every Wednesday and Sunday. So every Wednesday during school, we would go to the church because the school and the church was connected. So we would go over to the church and have mass, which is service basically. And of course, the students were the choir. So again, that's how I got my first experience singing within the church. And literally, I do mean literally, I have been singing within the church ever since. For those of you that don't know, I am a member of the NZT New Zion Temple Church, 3 locations, one church. So NZT Hammond, NZT Indianapolis, and NZT everywhere, which is virtual because maybe we got members from all over the world at this point because Bishop is international. Go ahead, Bishop. Bishop Brendan Jacobs Sr. and my First Lady Vivian Jacobs. I am rambling. What is happening? But anyway, so yes, I sing on the praise team. And I am in the choir as well. And I have always been, like I said, singing on the praise team and the choir for all of my life since third grade. So I know a little bit about that ministry, Now, as far as leading, get somebody else to do it, okay? Background, okay? But, whatever capacity that you're doing within, whether you're leading or singing background or whatever the case may be, it's still ministry, right? So that's that. So that's just a little small background for me. And I want to talk about, like I said, some mental health things, some things that I've gone through personally while being or trying to minister within my realm of music. And not only that, but also I started a new journey this year. Was it this year? Maybe last year. I started a new journey. I am also a part of the evangelism team. I discovered that actually I've always had a love and a passion for helping souls come to Christ. You know what I mean? Like I've always had that um I don't know, just something here about someone. I don't know. I like to bring people to Christ. I do in whatever form that God gives me the opportunity. Honestly, I just love, love, love. Like if somebody says, "Hey, I'm struggling. I don't know what to do. I know God or I don't know God. I want to get to know Him, but I don't know how." That's where I come in. Be like, well, let's talk about it, and I just meet them where they are, honestly, and just kind of redirect them to Christ, which is honestly another way of what I do here. So, um, I don't know why I'm rambling. This is like a little journal entry, diary entry. So y'all just follow along with me, okay? Um, let's see. Last year, as I've said in probably almost every episode since I've started this journey of podcasting, last year, the year 2022, was a doozy for me. It was a doozy. It was probably the lowest place I've ever been, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, definitely spiritually. And it was just some things that were going on. I'll be able to tell that story at a later time, not now. But it's definitely coming. Um, but I was going through some things, and it's like all the things, everything was hitting me at one time. And I'm just like, okay, Lord, if you want to take me out of here, just gonna do that. You know what I mean? But he was like, girl, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to strengthen you actually. But I didn't find that out until later, until I was coming out of the pit. Because baby, when I tell you I was in the pit, I was in the pit. So things just kept happening back to back to back to back, back to back to back to back throughout the entire year. And I'm not gonna lie, when it first started hitting me, sorry, that's my phone. When it first started hitting me, it was like, okay, God, why are you doing this? I've been trying to live right. I've been trying to do the right thing towards people. I've changed my ways. I've trying to strengthen my relationship with you. Like I was trying to be church girl, right? Not relationship girl. So what did my camera just do? That was weird. Did it just take a picture? I don't know. But anyway, sorry. So I was trying to be this church girl, right? Not knowing that it was a different, or not realizing that it was a difference between church and relationship. So, um, it kind of made me question God and doubt God a little bit. And I almost gave up. I was just like, Lord, if this is what it is, I don't like how do you expect me to praise you from this? I'm going through this. You see, I'm down here crying every single day, every single night. You see, where my mental is going. Like you see, I'm depressed down here. You see, I'm dealing with anxiety bad, having anxiety attacks almost 2 times a week, 3 times a week. Like, where are you? Where are you? And it's like God was completely silent. I was like, okay. So, like I said, this is when I first started getting into the trials and tribulations, right? As time went on, this is crazy because this is kind of like almost the anniversary of when everything started. So as time went on, I don't know, it kind of happened like that. So it was like one day I was like, Lord, if you want me to have a relationship with you, you're gonna have to show me something because I don't feel you. And if I remember correctly, it's kind of like the very next day, God was like, okay, I got you. And I remember I was in church. We was at the Blue Wall. For y'all that are NCT viewers, y'all know what the Blue Wall means. We were still at the Blue Wall, and what was the song? Oh, it was "If You Will Only Trust Me," baby. I don't know. I've known this song for forever, right? Sung it all the time in the car or in the choir. Cool. And, it was nice little worship song or a nice little, reminder song. But it was something about that day because it was literally, like I said, the night before church. So it has to be a Saturday. Saturday nights, I literally said in my prayer, Lord, if you want me to have a relationship with you, you're going to have to show me something because I cannot feel you and I cannot see you. I cannot I can't feel your presence. I don't feel you here with me. I don't uh in a sense, I was like, I don't see your word working for me as far as, never leave me nor forsake me and everything like that. Like, I don't see that happening for me. It feels like you're forsaking me. So I was like, Lord, if you want me to have a relationship with you, you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to do something because, help my unbelief, saints. So literally, I prayed a prayer, like, and that's the thing. Let me pause right here and say this. God wants that. He wants you to be honest. Look at David in Psalms. He wants you to be honest with him so that he can come up or come and show up and prove to you, help that unbelief. And that's exactly what he did for me. So, like I said, literally, it was the next day. I went to church. Like, I'm usually happy, excited, and jamming during praise and worship. I wasn't singing at this time because I was pregnant. Um, and baby, that's a whole nother story. That pregnancy was, but like I said, I wasn't singing at the time, so I was because I was pregnant, but I was still in the audience jamming, and like that was me every week. But this particular day, I prayed that prayer, and I was like, not intentionally sitting here like, okay, God, I'm waiting, but it's kind of like that's just how it happened. Like I was just sitting there, I wasn't in the mood. Um, I was not in the mood at all. And it was kind of like there was a dark cloud over me. And other people noticed that. They started hitting me up because I think we were still in the pandemic a little bit, trying to come out of the pandemic. And people were hitting me up on the not on the live, but looking at the live video. And I guess the camera had caught me or whatnot. And I was looking, however I was looking, probably with an attitude like I didn't want to be there. And people were hitting me up on my phone during church, like, hey, Aisha, I see you on the live. What's going on? Are you okay? You're not yourself. And then after church, I get messages from people at church that saw me. I was like, hey, you are not yourself today. Are you okay? Da, 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 da. And I wasn't, honestly. I was not okay because, like I said, it was the beginning of things happening back to back to back to back to back. And I literally felt like the enemy was trying to take me out of here because he knew that, or not that he knew, he thought, he thought that if he threw all these things at me, that I would give up. And essentially, I was headed towards that way. Being honest, I was headed towards that way. I was like, Lord, if you, like I said, if you wanted to take me out of here, just do that. Because at this point, my mercy. So, like I said, got to church and everything. I'm sitting there looking how I was looking. I was not feeling that day at all. But then towards the end of service, the message was good. I always pay attention to Bishop and to the sermons and stuff because I do like to learn. But towards the end of service, they started singing, if you would only trust me, trust me, trust me, I'll fight your battles and all of that. Y'all know the song. Y'all know the song. I'm not going to sing it again. But I don't know what it was. Like I said, I've heard the song. Can't even count how many times before that day. But it was something about that made me feel like he was specifically using this song to speak to me, him as in God. He was specifically using that song to speak to me from my prayer the previous night, right? And I was a mess. I was a mess, baby. Snot crying. Like y'all remember, y'all know how we talk about Viola. Is it Viola Davis? Is her name Viola? I don't know why that feels wrong, but I know it's right. Viola Davis. Y'all know how Viola Davis is in her movies and TV shows. She be snotting and crying and stuff, baby. That was me. I was tore down. Okay, tore down, and it was that day where I made the decision. I said, Lord, I will never, never let anything else that you allow or that the enemy tries to throw at me to break me down so to where I do not want to praise you and worship you ever again. I felt so bad. I felt so bad. But then I started, after that, I started doing like devotionals and stuff within the Bible app. And there was a plan. I can't remember. I can't remember what it was, but it was a plan I was doing. And it was basically talking about not needing to feel guilty, that God's grace and God's forgiveness and love outweighs our guilt and everything like that. And it did to do, because let me tell you, my mind was in a very dark place. It was in a very dark place. Like I said, I was pregnant at the time, and another fun fact, I got pregnant not too long after having my daughter. So I had my daughter in February. I got pregnant in September of the same year. So I got pregnant while I was enduring postpartum depression from having my daughter. So that's one thing. And then stuff started happening on top of that while I'm pregnant and dealing with postpartum depression from the previous pregnancy, or, pregnancy, delivery, whatever. Stuff started happening. My health started declining while I'm pregnant. So my anxiety is through the roof. I'm going through depression at this point. It was a lot. Like, my mental health was, baby, up under the ground. Okay. It was so low. It was so low. But I thank God. I thank God, for one, that He gave me revelation throughout this time. And He started giving me things and revealing things to me as to why I was going through what I was going through. And just that, of course, more things encouraged me, like my sister and people and everything like that, the word or ministry and everything. But just Him giving me revelation as to why I was going through the things I was going through was helping my mental health. It was very encouraging to know that God loved me enough to show me, show me where I was flawed, which I still am. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I haven't made it. You know what I mean? But I'm just so grateful that, like I said, God loved me enough to allow me to go through those things, to show me where I was flawed, where I could improve, and where and why, things were going the way they were from, that was my fault. I'm glad He showed me that, because it made me want to change, essentially. And as soon as I started putting, one and two together, and started going to therapy, thank God for therapy, and started reading my word for myself. Like, my relationship is probably stronger now with God than it has ever been. So that's why, yes, last year, 2022, was a doozy, but it was also a blessing in disguise, because I'm a bigger person. Like, I got my bigger panties on now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm able to handle more things. I'm able to control more things, like within myself. Like, control my anger, control how I react to things, or not reacting at all. I'm able to make better decisions and to see people. And the thing is, through everything I went through losing friends, losing family, and all this other stuff. Um, usually, usually, I have a very strong cutoff game. Okay, very strong cutoff game because like well, I don't think I said this yet, but I'm a giver at heart. I have a big heart. I love, and when I love hard, right? Um, and if I consider you a friend or a sister, if I consider you a friend or sister, brother, like we just family, and I would literally do anything for you, right? But when I feel like you're using me or taking advantage of me or playing me or anything of that nature, or if I feel abandonment within the friendship or relationship or anything of that nature, it's like, oh no, you're not going to do this to me. So I'm about to cut you off before you make me look stupid or you make me feel some type of way or whatever the case may be. And God rebuked me on that for real. Just tell me stop doing that. So going through this whole journey since last year, it's also taught me to love people past their how can I say it? Love people past their incapability of meeting my expectations. And it's not like I have like high expectations, like, oh, you gotta be able to climb 17 mountains before you can be my friend. No, it ain't that. It's just my I'm gonna be honest. My only expectation from people is reciprocity. That is literally my only expectation is to the love that I give you because I know my intentions. I try to. I mean, I don't think I do. I never have like ill intentions towards anyone or anything like that. And I just want that to be reciprocated. Like I said, I have a giver's heart, so I love to give, whether it's my time, my money, my efforts, my advice, my help, my heart, my whatever the case may be, my resources. I love to give, and excuse me, the only thing I expect is for you to do that back. To reciprocate. If I love you, I'm only looking for you to love me back. You know what I mean? And some people, I had to realize that some people just aren't me. Some people just aren't me. And I see this a lot on Facebook. I was saying it before I was seeing it, which is crazy to know that people have like, the same thought process and stuff. But there were memes and posts that were saying, stop expecting you out of people. And baby, that hit me like a ton of bricks because I'm just like, that's exactly what I've been doing. I've been expecting me from people. But it's like, sis, you can't do that because you're a whole totally different, unique person. And they are made totally differently and unique in their own way. Um, so you can't expect you out of everyone. Like, yes, you may meet some people that have the same characteristics and qualities and same type of heart and that type of thing that you have, but you can't expect that from people. You have to take people where they are. You do. You have to take people where they are. Take them from what they show you. Um, and love them regardless. To be honest, don't mean you gotta be, like this with them. Don't mean you gotta be sis, bro, and nothing like that. But you can be like hey, how you doing? That's great. Have a nice day. That's it. And like I said, love them regardless. Love doesn't have to be, oh, you my sis, you my bro, you my best friend, anything like that. It's just being nice, kind, having integrity, um, and still being available if you are the answer to their need. Because one thing I learned is that God blesses people through people. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. I don't know why I'm going to break it down, but God literally blesses people through people. You know what I mean? So if I had a financial need, let's say, if I had a financial need, and I ask God for a blessing, he's not going to just make it rain money out the sky. I mean, he can if he wanted to, but that's not how he works. He's going to send somebody my way that has the financials to give to me that I need. And that's how that goes, right? So, I said all that to say, which is typically what I've been saying since I've started, since the very first episode in November. If you're going through a thing, if you're going through some things, if you're going through many things, if you're going through anything, instead of trying to dwell in the fact that you're going through, try to seek and ask God, why are you allowing this to happen? What do you want me to learn from this situation? And I promise you, not only will you feel better, well, probably not immediately, let's be realistic here, but not only will you feel better, start to feel better because you'll have an understanding of why you're going through. So it's not just, oh, I'm going through for no reason because the world hates me. No, you're going through for a reason. Not only will you feel better, but you will also, in a sense, kind of know how to navigate through it through talking to God and journal. Like, I like to journal, baby. I will write every thought, every feeling down. Okay. And once I release that, I feel good because essentially I'm journaling to God. Like, I'm not just writing it on paper just to fold it up and be like, I wrote it out. But I'm journaling as if I'm writing a letter to God. I literally say, Dear Father or Dear God on my every journal entry. So I'm essentially writing a letter to God, and that's sometimes how I talk to him. And once I release that and cast my cares over to him, it literally feels like weights are being lifted, right? So I encourage you today, Saints. For one, like I said, try to not dwell on the fact that you're going through, but more, why are you going through this? Ask the Lord why you're going through what you're going through and what you can learn from this situation, and how can you help other people get through from your testimony of coming out of what you're going through. Because essentially, like I said, the word says we overcome A, by the blood, and B, by the word of our testimonies. Other people are encouraged by knowing, hey, that person over there went through the same thing I'm going through and they made it out. Let me go talk to them and see how they got through it. That's why you're going through. I went through what I went through last year already, like literally already. I'm helping out. I have helped someone that's going through my situation. Like, I just realized that's crazy. But like, literally, I went through what I went through last year. Excuse me, my voice trying to go out. I went through what I went through last year to help the next person that's going to go through it. That's what it is. If you're chosen by God, and if you're have a relationship with God, and if you're Christian and you've accepted Jesus to be your Lord and Savior, it's inevitable. You're going to go through things, and essentially it's to build character within you and to build strengths within you for you to help the next person, right? So that they can overcome and teach the skill of whatever it is that you learned, right? So y'all know I don't like to be before y'all long. I feel like I've rambled enough. Hopefully this video has helped someone. If you need prayer or anything, want to talk, chat about anything, I am not licensed, like a licensed therapist or anything like that, but I am down to talk and help you, talk through your situation and everything like that. Even if you just need a listening ear, I am here for it. Like I said, I just have a passion for helping people. You can contact me with the information below. All the information will be in the description box here. So that's all, folks. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Luxe Avenue, the podcast. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below to my YouTube channel, Aisha Always TV, where Luxe Avenue the podcast is host. We don't only host Luxe Avenue the podcast here on Aisha Always TV, but I do beauty video, or I'm trying to get into it, but we're going to do beauty videos. We're going to do family videos and blogs and everything, just kind of snippet into my life. And essentially, you guys are just my homies, you know. I don't want to call y'all homies because that's real tomboyish of me. I used to be a tomboy back in the day. But I'm gonna find a name for y'all. Y'all are I don't want to say besties because that's just I don't know. I'm gonna find a name for y'all. I'm gonna find a name. But y'all are family. Let's just call you family. Y'all are my family. So I'm gonna let y'all into my life a little bit. And like I said, you know, whatever I'm recording or posting or whatever, hopefully it's helping somebody in some type of way, you know. So again, please mind my voice. It is trying to go out. I was thinking earlier today, and it's just, it's tired. So, and I'm thirsty. My throat is dry. But again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys next week on the next episode.